So I haven't really told a story on here in a while. Don't know why today feels necessary to do so, but you know, I just want to tell a story today. But no, I'm gonna share with you guys some personal things. I'm currently out of high school now, but in school, those were like the funniest 12 years of my life. So many people tried me, like I promise you. I've never really been in a actual fight, but like I was ready. I was ready. Like, who's my first victim? Because it's getting out of control. If any of you were to ask me which was my worst year, I would definitely say 8th grade, like in a heartbeat. 8th grade was one of those years where I guess since the staff knew we were going to high school, they were just trying to dumb us the fuck down, like instantly. So many people in junior high were just, everybody was mad. Like you walk into school 7:30 in the morning and everyone's just pissed at you for no apparent reason. We'll mess around, go to lunch, the damn lunch lady smacking food on trays and shit. I'm like, calm down. You're not getting paid anymore, so let's keep it to a minimum. But no, 8th grade, oh my god, I have so much to say. Let me just start off with my teachers. So the first class of the day would always be called the advisory class. So pretty much like 20 students would be, you know, assigned to a specific advisory class. And then from there, everyone has their own separate schedules. And then at the end of the day, they all come back to that same advisory room. My advisory teacher happened to be Satan her damn self, because she thought it was nice and appropriate to pick on me all hours of the day. I'm talking, we're only in her class 2 times a day. The morning and the last class before we leave. I just see her walking up and down the hallways looking at me, whispering to teachers like,
oh yeah, that's Jason over there, he in my class. I do not like his ass.
And she happened to be the head of the like cheerleading squad or whatever. I guess she like did a backflip outside one time and everyone was like, oh my god, you're cool. And I'm like, bitch, good luck with that. But this is where it gets bad, because I'm only bringing her up for one specific reason, and she know what she did. I hope she watching this video too. Oh my god, look at me now. This lady decided, okay, so there's like, our school split. I don't know if I told this in any other videos, but our school splits. Like when I was in 7th and 8th grade, the 5th and 6th graders would own one side of the school, and the 7th and 8th graders would own the other side. And literally all 7th and 8th grade shared one gigantic ass hallway. It was so weird. So all the 7th grade classrooms would be down one section of the hallway. It would be like a 7A, B, and C. And then the next side would be like a 8A, 8B, 8C. It was a weird division, multiplication, whatever. All the students were divided. And you know, when I got to 8th grade, I guess she was just like, you know, I don't like the black kids, because she had an attitude problem and I was not ready for it. One afternoon, like early in the semester, I'm talking like at least November, or no, it was like October, sometime in there. I got called down to the office like 30 minutes before the whole day was over. And I was like, okay, what can I possibly do now? Y'all already getting on my nerves. Why the hell am I getting called down to the office for nothing? I go in the office and talk to the assistant principal. She gonna tell me, your advisory room has changed. And I'm like, okay, why is that? She said, I heard from your advisory teacher that the other students were being disturbed by you and this and that. So we decided to move you to a different advisory teacher and her name is blank. So I was pretty much just like, okay. So the funny thing is, I go right back to our classroom, and the advisory classroom was like a door away from the actual office. So I walked like 20 feet tops. Anyway, I get back to the classroom, I go in, our teacher's not there. And then the students all just look at me in concern like, Jason, why'd you get called down to the office? And I guess our teacher was going to run some papers in the copying room or whatever. So I told the kids, I'm like, well, apparently I'm changing advisory rooms. And then this one kid I was friends with, he just looked up at me. He was like, bro, are you serious? I heard her talking. And I was like, you heard her talking about what? He was like, the other day when you were gone, she was sitting on her podium, you know, teaching the class. And I heard her mention your name and talk about how, you know, she moved you to a different class because you were getting on her nerves. And I was like, oh, well, thanks for telling me that. That's something I could report. Let me tell you right now, I did not say a word for about 3 months tops. I didn't want any conflict. I already found it unnecessary that I moved. So the next day, as soon as I walked in her classroom, she just looked at me with the biggest attitude for no reason at all and was like, Jason, your stuff's ready. You can just go to her class now. And I felt so angry, but then again sad, because it's like, I'm really the only one in here getting picked on and I have never done a thing in her class. Back in 8th grade, literally all the students would do bad, besides fighting of course, is just talking. Like we gossip, we talk a lot, talkative. That's not really a problem though, because everyone else does it. That would have been the most thing I've ever done in her class. That's it. Besides that, I'm really not a disruption. I have not done anything bad. Yeah, I was probably a class clown here and there, but there were other class clowns in the class too that she actually laughed at. Bitch, are you serious? So anyway, she looks at me and is like, you know, just get out of my class pretty much. And I'm looking at all the students, they're just looking at me. None of them surprisingly are laughing or anything. They're just kind of looking at me concerned, like, you know, why the fuck is Jason getting moved out of the classroom? So I go to the new class. I look awkward as hell holding all my books, and I just knock on the door, and this bright personality ass lady, who happens to be a French teacher. Why am I in this class? So, you know, she opens up the door, and when I walk in, I see like 5 of my best friends, and I'm like, okay, it's lit then. Forget that other class, cause so, you know, she assigns me a seat, and then besides her, you know, talking about the morning announcements and everything, she spends like 20 minutes talking about how I'm the new student when I'm really not. I just moved 5 doors down. That's it. Shut up. And the whole class, not the whole class, but most of the friends that I happen to see who were in there just kind of looked at me and smirked and was like, dang, you know, Jason's in our class now. And that French teacher was just sitting up there talking about,
so yeah, we have a new student. His name's Jason, and his teacher didn't want him anymore, so he moved to this classroom.
I must have said, excuse me. She looked at me and kind of just, you know, shook that off as if she wasn't supposed to say it. Because I knew for a fact that the teachers had to talk in order to move me to a different advisory room. And after she finished her horrible, pathetic ass speech, you know, she sat down on her computer and I pretty much was just talking to my neighbors and everything. Like, you know, they kept asking me, why are you in here? What did you do? I said, I did absolutely nothing. Apparently the other teacher doesn't like me for some reason and lied to the principal saying that I was a disruption to her class and the other students didn't like me. When it was just her ugly ass who didn't like me. Yes, I called her ugly. Shit, lady messed around and looked like Miss Frizzle, old ass.
Cruising on down Main Street.
So I'm in this new advisory room and just pretty much at this point, fast forward like 3 more months ahead. Cause like I said, I really didn't mention it. I had more friends in this class anyway who I was pretty cool with, so we messed around, made some jokes and stuff. Again, I waited 3 months because I really didn't want to talk about it. At most, we'd just be talking, making a couple of jokes, and apparently it was a thing to like smack our knees and laugh. Long ass story, I don't even want to talk about it. So at this point, it's about January-ish, February, I kind of don't remember. And I kind of just built up the courage to at least mention this whole problem with, you know, our principal or whatever. And besides my friends in that class, this advisory teacher was weird as hell. I won't say she's worse because she never really picked on me. She kind of just bickered her mouth around, you know, the other kids who were kind of messing around in class. But it wasn't major. It was just us like laughing. Literally, 8th grade was one of my best years, but really my worst. In terms of just having friends, it was really awesome. I was always laughing and I was entertained in class. I never wanted to be boring. But then, you know, the staff, some of that staff was just out of this world, you know, racist and just, it's okay. I'm getting upset. So, you know, one day I go down to the principal's office and I'll talk to the assistant principal again. And then for some reason, just a quick side note, I got a lot of detentions. Don't know why. Again, I very seldom did anything. Just would get detentions, and for some reason, you know, my mom ended up becoming okay, you know, cool with the assistant principal. So when I go in there, she knows my name and everything. She was a real nice lady, by the way. You know, I remember sitting down and I just wanted to talk to her, and I was like, look, ever since I moved into the new advisory room, it's just kind of been a weird tension. She was like, you know why? I said, my old advisory teacher really didn't have a necessary reason for me to move a whole nother class. And now she kind of told me, she asked me, she was like, well, do you want to move back into that class? And I said, no, not with her. So then she said, well, then why are you bringing this up now? I said, because I want to confront her. And she kind of looked curious. She was like, well, I mean, if you want to say something, go in her class and say it. Then I was just like, I don't know. Because again, that whole confrontation thing, not my style. So, you know, I told her thank you, left the office, went 20 feet away into her classroom. And luckily, this was the last advisory period. And most of the time, when it is the afternoon time, you know, there's like student leaders who go around and pass notes to the teachers and all that. You know, everyone's just kind of busy wrapping up the day. So, you know, I asked my teacher to go to the bathroom. Didn't go to the bathroom. I went straight into that lady room. Old advisory teacher, by the way. When in there, the students were kind of just reading books, playing games, you know, studying, doing homework. And, you know, I see the teacher sitting at her computer. So, you know, swallow my pride and everything. Just like, all right, I got this. Go up to her. She already looking at me like I'm crazy as hell because she know exactly why I'm in her ratchet ass room. So I'll look at her and I'm like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? This lady gonna sit there and ignore me as if I do not exist on planet Earth. Bitch, turn around. So I asked her again, excuse me, can I talk to you for a second? So she turns around with this lame ass attitude. I'm really not taking it. At this point, I just want to tell her face to face, you know, what's up? What's really up? So, you know, she looks at me and I tell her, I'm like, can we talk about, you know, a couple of months ago when I moved out of this room? She was like, well, sure. What do you want to talk about? And I must have been, well, stop the smirk right now. That's unnecessary. This is business. Listen up, because I'm getting ready to rock your world. I said, most of the kids in here told me, you know, the actual reason on why I moved out of your room. She said, and what will that reason be, Jason? This is what I mean by the damn staff trying it, because we could have fought in the hallway. We could have easily fought in the hallway. She's just giving all sorts of looks as if it's nonchalant, like she clearly doesn't care about anything. I look at her and say, you know, the kids told me that it was you who didn't like me for some odd reason and why I moved out of the classroom. Then she got all on the defensive side and tried to make excuses. And, you know, the kids who were in that room still are in that room. So, you know, they're looking at me like, you know, oh, Jason's back. What is he talking about? And, you know, the class kind of gets silent for some reason. And I guess she picks up the silence and tries tries to talk louder. So she's looking at me, she's starting to get up. She's like, well, you know, everyone in here kept telling me that you were disturbing. So, you know, I started to get sick of your playing around too. I said, Trick, everybody in this class was messing around at some point. Don't ever pick on me because I'll call my mama up here. So I started to get on the defensive side. I'm like, that is the most pathetic reason on moving me out of your class. She was like, well, you're already out of my room, so I don't even want to talk about it anymore. So, you know, I turned around, walked to the door, opened it, and slammed it shut. It was so loud. And then the funny thing is, I really thought that I was the shit. Like, I just kept walking straight and going back to my new advisory room. She opens the door and screams my name, like, you know, Jason, get back here. And I'm like, bitch, no. So I keep walking, and she's just saying some vulgar stuff in the hallway. So I turn around, and I'm like, pretty much like, what? Like, what do you want? What, you want to try me again? Round 2, Miss Frizzle. So we go in the office. She's talking about, you know, I didn't want him in my class. That's pretty much it. What y'all gonna do about it? And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I hope you do a backflip and split your damn ankles open. I really don't care. That's it. I don't know. I'm sort of kind of starting to get upset because, like, till this day, there was no ending to that. Like, I don't know if she's still teaching. I hope her hair turned great. Like, I don't wish for the worst, but I wish for the worst. And that's it, because wow, okay. This is why I'm so glad, you know, high school was much better. People were more appropriate and had some damn sense. Then now I'm out of school, like, permanently, so life's good. No, that pretty much wraps up the video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to really leave a like instantly. Like, don't just watch it and leave. Like, you know, leave some feedback, because your boy could tell more stories. Also, subscribe if you're new. That would really mean so much to me. Hope you guys enjoy all my new content. And yeah, that's it. So until my next video, bye.